Hey everybody, hopping on. Good morning. All right, we are rolling. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the PT on Ice Daily Show. My name is Dr. Alexis Morgan, and I am one of two lead faculty with clinical management of the fitness athlete, pregnancy, and postpartum. And I am on today, which is Monday, and we are going to be talking about which hat we should wear and when. We all have basically three hats that we go throughout the day. We've got our coach hat, our teacher hat, and of course, our therapist hat. So today I want to go through each of those hats, each of those personas, and have a bit of a discussion about when we should wear which one and when it becomes important to take which one off. So first of all, what is a coach? A coach is someone who motivates or who guides, instructs, and trains, right? Athletes, individuals who are looking to perform in some level of sport. These athletes need a coach. They need someone to step in to provide that motivation or that guidance, that training. Then we've got our second hat, which is teacher hat. A teacher. We've all had so many teachers. Who is that? What does that really mean? A teacher is one who helps others acquire knowledge or some level of competence, right? And then a therapist. What many of us listening are as physical therapists to some degree. And that is one who treats with the intention to relieve or to heal a disorder. Each of these hats, each of these personas play into one another. At any given time, we are likely to be wearing one of those three hats in our care with our clients, with our patients. And it is really, really important to know which hat you're wearing, particularly when you're in that one-to-one inside of the treatment room and either you're listening or you're talking. We need to be mindful of what hat we're wearing and recognize that we need to adjust potentially to ensure that it fits exactly what the person in front of us needs. This may adjust within one visit. We may start out as therapist, then we may go to teacher, and then we may end the visit as a coach. Or it may be more of a change throughout a plan of care. I start out as a therapist, seeing someone early postpartum, working through a lot of healing, a lot of tissue damage, a lot of pain, and then wind up into the coaching role as we talk about returning to a barbell, right? So we can change throughout. I want to tell you a couple of examples of when one hat is being worn compared to another. So example number one, first of all, we absolutely love breaking down Olympic weightlifting. Christina and I, our other lead faculty for pregnancy and postpartum class, absolutely love it, nerd out about it, and really enjoy doing it ourselves. So if I am telling my client about the differences between the first pull and the second pull and then the third, and how her muscle activity changes. I'm saying, let's use our latissimus dorsi. Let's use those lats to pull the bar into your body, and like using all of these words. Am I a coach or a teacher? If I'm using a whole heck of a lot of words, I'm wearing my teacher hat. I've made this, I've had this scenario quite a bit. It's not necessarily a mistake to be teaching someone about each of the pulls of an Olympic lift. It just needs to make sure that it matches what your client needs. So if she's sitting there and it's the first time she's done this, she doesn't care about the pulls. She just wants to be able to pull it off in the gym. And so at that point, I don't need to be a teacher. She needs a coach. And so that coach is going to give the visual cues. I'm going to demonstrate it before she does it. I'm going to give her tactile cues. I want to tap on her back. I want to get her to pull the bar into her body. I want to tell her some verbal cues, like squeeze washcloths in the back of your armpits and pull back towards it, right? So a lot of these cues have come from Mitch and from Zach and even Nick Winkleman talking about coaching. All of this is so important that we know how to be a coach and when. That is what's going to help guide her to have better performance, which is what she needs at this exact moment. So it's not bad to be a teacher versus a coach. We need teachers and we need coaches, and we need to be able to balance those. What winds up being bad is when we've gone on and on and on and on and on, talking, and we don't realize that this is not what the person needs. They need the coach. So being mindfully aware of what hat you're wearing is extremely important, as well as being connected with your client to know what that person needs. We see this a lot when we're talking about teacher versus therapist. Again, I'll just put myself under the bus here, especially as an early grad and as a student. I made the mistake a lot of being the teacher rather than the therapist. So one of the best examples of this is when you've got that client and they're walking in the door and you can tell they're in a lot of pain walking back to your room. And they are just in so much pain. They're having a hard time even turning their neck. And we start to get some information from them, and they're like, I'm thinking about getting an MRI. Like, I've been to a couple other people and nobody has been able to help me, and I'm just hurting and I'm worried. And we hear that MRI and we go, no, they don't need that, right? And so we just kind of spill off with our teacher hat on, oh, no. 52% of people with asymptomatic 30-year-olds have disc problems. And they're like, okay, but I'm hurting. We're being that teacher rather than being the therapist, the one who's intending to relieve or to heal. I think so often, especially on social media, we have become teachers. And it's so good. It helps bring people into our doors all the time by teaching them these little bits and pieces about their bodies and about what they can do. But when they enter our room, oftentimes they're here because they need a therapist. And we need to be ready to put that hat on and to be able to help relieve their pain. And as we go, then we can quickly put that teacher hat on and right back to therapist. And drop in little bitty pieces of information to help be that therapist that heals their pain, that helps them heal their bodies. Knowledge is power, but it's also really hard to soak up knowledge when we're in a lot of pain. So we need to be aware of which hat we're wearing and choose it wisely. Lastly, I want to talk about the differences between a coach and a therapist. And we talk a lot about this in the pregnancy and postpartum course, about changing movement patterns to actually adjust pelvic floor issues. Potentially, oftentimes, we can even eliminate pelvic floor disorder by coaching. One of the biggest examples is peeing with double unders. The hard part about the peeing with double unders thing is we've got the peeing, the problem, the disorder, and that falls under the therapist hat. And then we've got the double unders, the actual skill of an athletic performance. And so that falls under the coach. So oftentimes we wonder, which hat do I put on first? We always say we coach first. We coach first. We put that coach hat on first and then see what washes out. See if there's anything left over. And then we put that therapist hat on. So watch her movement. Video it in slow motion. How is she driving the rope? Does she have her shoulders in her ears? Is she using her elbows to get that all the way around, or is she using her wrists? What is her core position like? Is she arching her back, or does she have that nice hollow? Do we have a lot of hip, knee, and dorsiflexion on board when she's trying to get under that second time? Or are her legs nice and extended? Is she relaxed? All of that can play a role in how the athlete is performing and how the pelvic floor is able to perform. We can therapize that movement all day long, but if the athlete is not moving well, then the therapy is not going to be as effective. We've got to be able to break down their movement to be a coach first, set up that environment, optimize it for the pelvic floor, and work back from there. So we coach first, and then if the issue remains, then we put on our therapist hat. So your Monday challenge today is know which hat you're wearing and why. And be ready to swap it out at any point throughout your day, throughout the hour that you're with your client. You may find that you're in teacher mode and then your client needs the coach mode and we're ready to swap it out. Or you may be coach with one client and the next minute your next client walks through the door and you've got to be that therapist. Know which hat you're wearing and be ready to swap it at any time. I hope you enjoyed that today. Have a wonderful Monday. If you are looking to join our cohort for pregnancy and postpartum, learning how to treat the female athlete, we would love to have you. Our next cohort starts June 28th, and you can learn more about that on ptonice.com. See you all soon. Take care.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.